not only are the winds picking up with these very, very strong wind gusts, the rain is picking up, slamming into us so hard that it hurts. You see the wind blowing this rain across the parking lot in sheets. Starting to see some ponding here in the parking lot, whipping through the trees, shaking light poles, shaking the stop signs, and it is getting stronger by the minute. Bear with us here as our crew is trying to bring you the images of this storm, but you see how strong it is by how much this is rocking all of us. Buzz Williams is certainly the buzz here on campus tonight, but it's really more of a buzzkill. Not hard to see why. Take a look at the banners hanging in the rafters here at Castle Coliseum. NCAA tournament appearances 2017, 2018, soon to be a 2019 banner hanging there. But before that, it was an entire decade since the Hokies had made it to the big dance. And that's why a lot of fans today are calling this the toughest loss of the season. I was out here a year ago in the aftermath of the tornado, and this area looked like a war zone. Many of these houses you see behind me were leveled or ripped apart, debris everywhere. They've certainly come a long way, but as you can see, they've still got a long way to go. This community that was once defined by what happened to it is now being defined by how they're moving forward. Did you sleep at all last night?
We sure didn't, Jenna. Carter and I, a photographer, we didn't sleep at all. But, you know, it was so exciting. The streets were packed with thousands of people. It's hard to imagine it now, but try to picture thousands of fans rushing the corner here, trying to get to downtown Charlottesville to celebrate that historic moment.
Universities are, in fact, required to have instant alert systems like this in place, and it all comes back to Virginia Tech. The tragedy that happened here in 2007 emphasized the importance of emergency alert systems, and now Virginia Tech is leading the charge. Here in Roanoke, they screened about 110,000 passengers last summer, and they expect to pass that well before Labor Day this year. So what does that mean for you? It means these lines are going to be a lot longer than normal. So tonight we're breaking down what you need to know for a safe takeoff. Gas is practically gold. I will tell you, my photographer Carter and I are trying to be diligent when we go out. We try to top off our gas tanks, and that's been very difficult. Every single time we have had trouble getting gas. Now we have been able to find it, but a lot of stations running out. Same story for grocery stores looking for water. So everyone kind of scrambling for supplies here, guys. Take a look at this video. You see the police officer sitting right here eating lunch when she suddenly jumps up and runs across the restaurant to help this woman who is trying to save her 2-week-old great-grandson's life. Tonight, for the first time, the officer sees this video of her heroic efforts and tells us why training was only a part of why she was able to save the baby. Mary Lou Atwell was eating lunch with family Tuesday when all of a sudden
he wasn't breathing. He was purple.
Her 2-week-old great-grandson started choking.
All I knew to do was, with an infant, is pat him on the back, and that's all I knew to do.
Her desperate attempts to save Lucas captured in surveillance video.
And I was just praying, you know, somebody please come and help me, because I can't do this. It's not working.
Seconds later, an answer to her prayers.
And I took him from her into my arms and turned him over in my hand and started a Heimlich.
Danville police officer Melissa Carey trying relentlessly to revive Lucas.
Probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life.
And I'm sure it was a very short seconds. It felt like forever.
Continuing the Heimlich maneuver as she lays the tiny infant on her leg.
Just, dear God, please save him.
Until finally, Lucas starts breathing.
After working on him and seeing his face and his eyes wouldn't open, and to roll him over and watch him take his first breath, and knowing he was going to be okay, that was hard. That was hard.
Carrie is still trying to process the chaos that she calls one of the most important moments in her career, but says a mix of adrenaline, training, and motherly instincts came over her.
I couldn't hear anything other than a woman's voice who was praying nearby, and I knew at that point that God had just put me there, you know, in the right place at the right time to be able to save baby Lucas.
An officer turned hero, springing into action and going beyond the badge.
She's my new best friend.
Don't make me cry.
To give a baby a future he may not have seen otherwise.
Without her, he wouldn't be here.
He's a beautiful baby. He's got a beautiful family, and I'm just so glad that I was there to be able to help him.
Lucas is still getting checked out by doctors today, but is doing well. Meanwhile, his great-grandmother says she plans to renew her CPR certification, so if needed, she can be a hero one day, too. In studio, I'm Jessica Jewell, 10 News, working for you. The remnants of a house
Took me almost 3 years to build.
that was once a home,
It's hard to see 40 years demolished.
destroyed.
Just a mess.
A mess Mother Nature started,
It's hard to believe in a matter of 20 seconds it was all destroyed.
and 2 days of demolition will finish.
Tornado demolished it, it just cleaned up the pieces. Just changed our lives forever. Hopefully for the better.
Starting demolition today, an important next step for Larry Anderson.
It hurts, but it's just something part of what's got to happen.
But for his wife, Dolores,
She said she didn't want to see it tore down. It just hurt too bad.
a painful reminder of the storm she watched take her home and nearly take her life. In the hours after the tornado, dozens of friends, family members, and strangers jumped in to help the Andersons salvage what they could. Clothes, pictures.
Whole lot of memories.
The pictures aren't the most important thing.
My wife's life. She was very lucky that she didn't get hurt.
Today, a critical milestone on their road to recovery, with signs of hope along the way.
I've got over the shock part and realize I know what's going to happen. So just go ahead just like it's a regular day. Hope each day gets better.
2 years ago, Robert Fallon was a recent high school graduate with his whole life ahead of him. Then one day, he went to the doctor thinking he had bronchitis, and everything changed.
He said, "Mom, they said that I'm in end-stage renal failure."
And I was like, nah, this ain't real. This isn't happening.
His kidney function was down to just 12%. His only option, start dialysis and wait for a transplant. Doctors telling his mother, Janet,
It's typically 3 to 5 years for wait for deceased kidney match. Good luck keeping your son alive that long.
he's now down to less than 1% kidney function, going to dialysis 3 times a week.
Unfortunately, everybody thinks, oh, well, he's on dialysis. He'll be here for another 15, 20, 30 years. That's not the case with me, because without a kidney, I will not make it.
A frightening realization for his girlfriend, Crystal Sparks, who decided to use her talents for change.
I kept seeing these painted rocks everywhere, and then when he got diagnosed, I was trying to think of a way. I was just like, well, how can we, locate a potential donor? And then it sort of just clicked.
Crystal started painting rocks,
It's a very inexpensive way to make an impact.
each with its own unique design, but the same message on the back, trying to find a match for Robert. They're now popping up all around the world, and over the past 2 years, dozens of people have reached out.
Please just let this be the one.
But so far, no match.
He deserves a chance at life just like the rest of us.
Each rock another attempt to give him that chance.
It would save my son's life.
They'd essentially be my hero. Like, you saved my life, and I can never thank you or repay you for that.
To give a young man much more than a kidney, but a future. In Grayson County, Jessica Jewell, 10 News, working for you.